A lot of people think that she is Blue Ivy's biological mother, and the timelines of these two pregnancies line up perfect.
No matter how many revelations surface, will there always remain something buried, unaddressed, or left uncorrected?
Would consider telling her story to me on the record, which implied to me, obviously, that if she was willing to tell her story about Jay-Z, that it was indeed true that she was having an affair with him.
Days pass as I'm reaching out to her repeatedly, dialing her number over and over, but there's no response. I'm pretty sure this pattern continued for several days straight. Has one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims just revealed who Cathy White's daughter really is? Because seriously, what is happening here? For years, speculation has swirled that Blue Ivy Carter might not actually be Beyoncé's biological child, with whispers suggesting she could be Cathy White's daughter instead. Some theories go further, proposing that Cathy White served as the surrogate who carried Beyoncé and Jay-Z's baby, which would explain any physical similarities between Blue Ivy and Cathy. People constantly reference that viral moment where Beyoncé's pregnant belly appears to collapse unnaturally during a televised appearance. Since that footage surfaced, the internet has exploded with countless alternative explanations. But wait, what if everyone's been looking at the wrong child this whole time? What if Cathy White's actual daughter is alive somewhere, completely concealed from public view? Let's face it, if there's any truth to these claims, figures as powerful as Jay-Z and Beyoncé would mobilize every resource available to maintain absolute secrecy. Now, one of Epstein's alleged victims is supposedly coming forward with hints about all of this. So could we finally be approaching the revelation of who this person is and where she's been hidden? Let's break this down. How did we even arrive at this point in the conversation? I know some of you are wondering who Cathy White even was, and why her name is suddenly dominating these discussions. Let me take you back to the beginning. Cathy White was a New York-based public relations executive and model, who had built a respectable career for herself, collaborating with celebrities, attending exclusive industry gatherings, and navigating elite social circles. She even pursued acting opportunities, appearing in projects like Deep in the Valley, and was regularly photographed at high-profile entertainment events. That's essentially how her identity became intertwined with that celebrity ecosystem initially. Around 2010, the situation became complicated when gossip websites, particularly Media Takeout, began publishing allegations that Cathy was supposedly engaged in an extended romantic relationship with Jay-Z. I have to emphasize that these claims were never substantiated with evidence. However, once those rumors circulated online, people began scrutinizing her lifestyle choices, travel patterns, and access to exclusive events, questioning how everything connected. Then in 2011, Cathy died unexpectedly at just 29 years old. Medical records indicated the cause was a brain aneurysm. Naturally, the internet refused to accept that explanation at face value. Claims emerged suggesting she had been preparing to give an interview to a journalist just before her death. Once that narrative took hold, it fundamentally transformed how people interpreted every aspect of her story. Suddenly, her passing became incorporated into a much larger conspiracy in the public imagination.
And they shut the whole hospital down. And people who had just had their babies couldn't see their babies for 20.
Currently, online communities believe her death involved foul play designed to prevent her from speaking publicly. There's absolutely no confirmed evidence supporting that conclusion, but the suspicion has persisted throughout the years. Another storyline developed simultaneously, creating a direct connection between Cathy White and Blue Ivy Carter. Certain conspiracy-focused forums claim Cathy was expecting a child, and that pregnancy is somehow linked to Blue Ivy's existence. This is precisely why that hospital incident continues resurfacing in these discussions repeatedly. When Blue Ivy was delivered, legitimate news reports documented that Beyoncé had implemented extraordinarily stringent security protocols at the medical facility. Complete floors of the maternity department were placed under severe access restrictions, and several parents actually complained publicly that they were prevented from properly visiting their own newborn children during that period.
I'm good. It's a beautiful baby bump. No wonder Beyoncé is blooming. This really is Destiny's Child. First of all, congratulations.
The internet interpreted those security measures and asked the obvious question about why such extreme lockdown procedures were necessary. That's where alternative theories emerge. Some individuals claim that following Cathy's death, a newborn infant was covertly transported to a New York medical center for urgent medical attention, and the security lockdown wasn't simply about protecting celebrity privacy, but rather about controlling exactly who could witness what was actually happening. Some versions suggest she was carrying Jay-Z's child from their alleged affair. Other variations propose she was functioning as a surrogate who experienced medical complications. After all, celebrities who encounter reproductive challenges frequently employ surrogates. The narrative becomes even more complex from there. People also reference that widely circulated footage of Beyoncé seated during a televised interview where her pregnancy belly seemed to compress in a physically impossible manner. You're all familiar with that specific clip because TikTok has replayed it countless times. For many viewers, that single moment provided sufficient reason to doubt the authenticity of the entire pregnancy.
Is she crying? Oh my God!
Additionally, Beyoncé's music catalog gets incorporated into these analyses as well. Her track titled Daughter has undergone intense examination, with listeners attempting to decode the lyrics in relation to these theories. The composition explores concepts like remorse, retaliation, and accountability, and certain audience members have interpreted those themes as veiled admissions of hidden truth, and when she delivered an emotional live performance of the song with visible tears, observers questioned whether deeper meaning was being revealed.
But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and beyond.
Then there's Jaguar Wright, who, as you're already aware, doesn't restrain herself when discussing industry secrets. She's been publicly discussing Cathy's death, asserting it wasn't from natural causes and implying that influential individuals orchestrated it. While none of those accusations have been verified, those kinds of public statements are exactly what keeps these conspiracy theories alive and circulating. Simultaneously, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's legal representatives have intervened multiple times to refute all of this. Like in late 2024, when identical allegations surfaced on Piers Morgan Uncensored, Piers Morgan was compelled to return on air and deliver an apology, explaining that their attorneys had demonstrated the accusations were entirely fabricated and lacked any factual foundation.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Officially speaking, these narratives have been thoroughly denied and legally contested. But you already understand how internet communities respond to official denials. Now let's address the Epstein angle, because I know that's what many of you have been anticipating. Online forums have attempted to establish connections between Jay-Z and other controversial personalities. Harvey Weinstein is one name that repeatedly appears in these discussions. In 2016, Jay-Z maintained a business relationship with the Weinstein Company, collaborating on multiple entertainment projects. There's also that widely remembered incident where Harvey Weinstein physically intervened to protect Jay-Z from aggressive paparazzi photographers. What made that interaction particularly noteworthy is that Weinstein explicitly described him as his friend during the encounter. Following that public interaction, many people began assuming they maintained a close personal relationship beyond professional collaboration. Then recently, Jay-Z's name also appeared in the Epstein documentation through testimony from one of the victims. Online communities tend to cluster powerful individuals together and construct these guilt by association narratives. When one confirmed connection exists, they presume additional hidden relationships must exist behind closed doors. Allegedly, victims who witnessed these situations firsthand, people who attended these gatherings, observed significantly more than what's publicly known. Remember, there are still millions of documents awaiting public release. Speculation suggests that one person who witnessed these events has been speaking about Jay-Z, and what we currently know about Cathy White represents just a fraction of the complete picture. This all converges into one central question that ties everything together. If Blue Ivy isn't Cathy White's daughter, then who actually is? Numerous theories exist, but no confirmed answers have emerged. Some people believe that if Cathy's alleged child exists anywhere, her identity would be completely obscured, possibly leveraging powerful networks to maintain that secrecy. The internet has formed strong opinions on this. One commenter stated it was Beyoncé's egg, and she simply utilized a surrogate. Another person responded with amazement. This is wild. Blue actually does resemble Cathy White, and I distinctly remember watching that interview live when Beyoncé's belly collapsed unexpectedly. I hate to deliver disappointing news, but we should all recognize that Beyoncé likely has some medical condition, which explains how the twins were born the way they were, not Blue, because she's not Beyoncé's biological daughter. I genuinely feel sympathy for Blue. If anything substantiated ever surfaces publicly, it would fundamentally alter how people understand this entire situation. I need to hear your perspectives on this, because this whole scenario is overwhelming. All these interconnected theories, everything linking together like this. Do you believe there's legitimate substance behind any of this? Or is the internet simply doing what it does most effectively? Be honest with me. Do you think Jay-Z might be the next major figure facing serious consequences? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.